Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Edification 360 Degrees. And so today we are focusing on social sciences geography grade 7 and our topic is earthquakes. Alright, and so with earthquakes, because of the number of subtopics that need to be covered, we have decided to create two videos. There's earthquake video number 1 and earthquake video number 2. Earthquake video number 1 covers the following topics. 1. Location of earthquakes around the world. 2. Causes of earthquakes. 3. Effects of earthquakes. 4. Some communities are more at risk than others. And now earthquake video number 2 covers the following topics. Number 1, reducing the impacts, preparing for and responding to earthquakes. Number 2, responding to areas that are hit by earthquakes. The first earthquake video, we are going to be focusing on the following: location of earthquakes around the world, causes of earthquakes, effects of earthquakes, and lastly, some communities are more at risk than others.
Oh my God.
Location of earthquakes around the world. Firstly, what is an earthquake? An earthquake is a violent shaking of the Earth's crust. And so on the screen there is a map, a world map. The black dots represent cities. The plate margins are represented by blue lines. The earthquakes are represented by the yellow dots, and the volcanoes are represented by the red dots. Our focus here is earthquake, meaning that we will be focusing on the yellow dots. When you look at your yellow dots, they are quite close to your plate margins. And so when you look into a map, location of earthquakes around the world, the earthquakes are usually located very close to plate margins. And as we go further with the lesson, you will understand why. Causes of earthquakes. Earthquakes happen in parts of the world where the crust is weak. Earthquake areas are actually closely linked to movement of the Earth's tectonic plate. The moving plate causes parts of the Earth crust to move along weak points, which are called faults. This movement creates shock waves. Shock waves cause the surface of the Earth to move and to start shaking. A strong earthquake sends powerful shock waves through the crust, and this can actually cause buildings to fall down. Effects of earthquakes. Earthquakes actually do the most damage in urban areas where the shaking of the earth causes buildings to fall down. And the places that are near to the ocean are also at risk from giant waves, which are called tsunamis. People are injured and killed by these buildings that are falling down. Second effect of the earthquake is that people are trapped under buildings which have collapsed. Some people get trapped under the buildings which have collapsed. The third effect is that water pipes are broken. The fourth effect of the earthquake is that sewage pollutes water, and this polluted water then causes diseases. The fifth effect of the earthquake is that transport and communication is damaged. The sixth effect of the earthquake is fires from leaking gas and petrol. The seventh effect of the earthquake is that tsunamis destroy settlement and farmland. Remember, a tsunami is a huge water wave that is caused when an earthquake happens under the ocean. The eighth effect of an earthquake is that people drown in the tsunamis. The ninth and last effect of an earthquake is that people lose their homes and have to find somewhere else to live, and we call this displacement. Displacement is when people are forced to leave their homes due to something very bad that has happened. Practice activity 1, and really this activity is for you to practice and to really see if you have an understanding of the content that we have covered so far on earthquakes. And so the instruction is, you are tasked with the responsibility of creating an awareness poster for your community on earthquakes. Your poster should cover the following content. Number 1, what is an earthquake? Number 2, what causes an earthquake? Number 3, effects of earthquake. Just like any other poster that you would make, you need to make a borderline for your poster. You need to make sure your poster has a title and that your title is visible, okay? And also you need to look into the structure of your poster, how you plan on putting everything together. And you also need to include images. You can draw, or you could even cut out of a magazine. Some communities are more at risk than others. There are two important reasons on why earthquakes cause more damage in some communities than in others. The amount of damage is related to, firstly, how well the buildings are made. Secondly, the rescue plans and rescue equipment that is available. And so for us to really have an understanding or a picture of why some communities would be more at risk than others, we are going to be comparing country A and country B. Country A is a developed country, and in their country they have the following: buildings withstand forces, Their emergency teams are trained, their communication systems are good, evacuation points are set out, and their homes are encouraged to have earthquake kits. And on the other side, we have country B. Country B is a less developed country. Their buildings are poorly made. They have poor emergency plans. Their communication systems are very slow. There is no evacuation points, meaning that should an earthquake occur, there would be confusion among people because they would not know what to do or where to go. And then lastly, there is no encouragement of earthquake kits. By simply looking at this table, we can already see that country A, should it be hit by an earthquake, it would not be affected like country B. Country B would be more affected by the earthquake, meaning that the community in country A would be less at risk and country B would be more at risk. The damage that would happen would be less in country A and it would be more in country B. Recap of the work that was covered in this earthquake video. Firstly, we looked at location of earthquakes around the world, and we said an earthquake is a violent shaking of the Earth's crust. Earthquake happened close to plate margins. We moved on to the causes of earthquakes. The moving plate causes parts of the earth crust to move along weak points, which are called faults. These movement creates shock waves, and the shock waves, they cause the surface of the earth to start shaking. A strong earthquake sends powerful shock waves through the crust, which can actually cause buildings to fall down. We then moved into the effects of earthquakes. Earthquakes do the most damage in urban areas where the shaking of the earth causes buildings to fall down. Places near the ocean are also at risk from giant waves, which are called tsunamis. Some of the effects of an earthquake are people are injured and killed by falling buildings, people are trapped under collapsed buildings, broken water pipes, sewage pollutes water and causes diseases, transport and communication is damaged, fires from leaking gas and petrol, tsunamis destroy settlement and farmland, people drown in tsunamis, and lastly, people lose their homes and have to find somewhere else to live, and we said that this is called displacement. Lastly, we looked into some communities are more at risk than others. There are two important reasons why some communities are more at risk than others. This damage is related to two things. Firstly, how well the buildings are made. Secondly, the rescue plans and rescue equipment which are available. Thank you so much for joining us today as we're discussing earthquake. Remember, the earthquake topic has two videos. This was the first video, so you need to stay put for the second video. We are available on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Gmail, and WhatsApp. So really, if you have any questions or would like to engage with us in this topic or any other topic that we discuss, you are more than welcome to do that. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to share with others, and remember, knowledge is power.